This is different for your cold process that we did earlier on because we'll be using external heat to drive the process. This process also offers you a bit of, it offers you variety and a bit of control in that in terms of variety, we're able to make liquid soaps and cream soaps. And that allows you also to take some control over what you're doing, as opposed to the cold process where you have only one opportunity to get it right. You have a little more time in which to work through the process. It requires external heat, and so we'll be doing a bit of cooking throughout this period. What we'll be doing the hot process first, and then I'm going to show you how to do a liquid soap and also a cream soap. We'll be starting off by doing hot process bar soap. We'll be doing a aloe vera soap, and for that we're going to need a blender, our scale, our molds, sieve, spatulas, our ingredients that we're going to be using in there. And depending on the mold that you're using, you probably need greaseproof paper, but I'm going to be using my silicone hot mold here. A stick blender, crock pots, my caustic soda, and I have my gloves, my goggles, my knife, and a cutting board, and also thermometer. Okay, we're looking at the ingredients that we'll be using for our soap today. We'll be using the base oils: coconut, palm, olive, and sweet almond oil. We'll be using 102 grams for the coconut, 241 for the palm, olive 170 grams, sweet almond oil 170 grams. We'll be super fatting it with the hazelnut oil for 20 grams. We'll be having a caustic soda solution. We'll be having sodium hydroxide. We'll have 94 grams, water 227. The additive we're using is aloe vera extract, which we'll make later on. It's 100 grams. And a fragrance, I'll be using an essential oil blend of 20 grams. Okay? So what I've done, I've actually weighed my oils out already. I have them all prepared. My caustic soda solution, I've already prepared here. And remember from the previous tutorial, you saw how I did that. You just need to follow that again or refer to the last tutorial on how that was done, okay? So we're not going to go over that again. So we've prepared our caustic soda solution, brought it to the correct temperature, and I've got my oils in here in which I've melted, so you can have a look at that. I've melted the oils, so it's all nice and ready, and everything is ready now for us to go and do. Before I do, just to make sure that we talk about safety, that you need to make sure that you put your gloves on. So we're still using the caustic soda solution. So we get our gloves on. Remember we talked about having children and pets out the way because you know it's not a place for them to be. Okay, and now I'm going to be combining the oil and the caustic soda, and I'll show you. I have a spatula for putting this in. I'm going to add it in here now. So what I do, I bring it over here for you to see what is happening in here with the oil. So you can see the color's changed, yeah, from plain oil, it's gone a bit cloudy. We're going to use our stick blender, but I'll show you. Just as we did yesterday to bring it to tray. So what we do is trying to bring it to tray. Want you to see what is happening in here. So you can see it's gone really thick. sorry. As you can see, it's gone really thick here. So we just continue with it until it thickens a bit more, because we're going to cook this. So it depends on your slow cooker. Mine is a small one because I'm using a half a batch of what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to bring it to trace as we did in the last tutorial. So I'll show you again. It's changing. You can see this is really thick now. Can you see that? So it's really thick, and that is thick trace that we have here. And so what we're going to do, we're just going to leave it to cook for an hour or so, depending on the power of your cooker. So we just leave it there to cook for about an hour and a half or so. Now I'm going to prepare my aloe vera for the soap in the pot that I'm cooking. So I'm going to cut this. It's a small piece I cut off. Let me see what that is. So I tore my scale just to weigh it, just to give an idea of what it is. But it's about 100 grams. Weight. So I'm just going to cut it in half, say. Okay, and I'm just going to use this. I'm just going to put it in here. I'm just going to scoop it out. Yeah. So I'm just going to scoop it out. You don't really want the green bits on it, just the white bit. Okay. So I'm just going to add this. I'm just going to add this to the blender. So I'm going to be doing it here. Add that in here. Now I'm going to do about 100 grams of water, which I have here. Yeah, it's 100 grams. Actually, or more, depending on what you want. Between 100 and 250 grams will be sufficient for that. Okay. Strain this off because sort of have bits of it. So I'm just going to strain. So I'm just going to strain this off in here. And this is really, really good for your skin. Yeah. So I'm just going to finish with that. That out of the way, and now I'm just going to use about 100 grams, as I said, 100 grams of it. So I'm just going to weigh that. It's about 100 grams of that in there. Okay, so that's fine. So now we're going to add all these now to our pot. Let me show you what the cook looks like now. Sorry. Let me just show you this. Okay. Can you see that? You see this has moved from See, it sort of look a bit translucent here. That's what we talked about before when we started. It sort of moved from that milky white, when it was thick and white, to what it is now. So this is, I know that this is cooked now. So I want to retain everything that I put in. So add that to the soap. Use my spatula and get it all in. Okay, can you see that now? Because it's a bit difficult for me to mix it while all that is going on. Okay. So you see how different that is in the cook. Okay, and I'm just going to leave it for about 10 minutes or so just to settle into that. Okay, sorry, can I see that? So I've mixed it all in, and there it is. Okay. I'm just going to add some oil to that. I shouldn't have done that. Just add everything in. This hazelnut oil is really nutty. Can you smell that? Gosh, this is really lovely. Can you see that? Yeah? This nutty hazelnut. Oh, this is lovely. But if you notice that you can't pour this, this is something that you're gonna do. And the last thing I do is add my fragrance oil, my fragrance. And I use a blend of essential oils in here with lime. I've used lime in here and benzoin in my one. Okay? It's about 20 grams. And I add that in. If you notice, we're not rushing. Okay? We're not rushing. We have enough time to do this. And that's what I talk about when I say you have time to do it when you do the hot process. Okay, let me just show you that again. Can I see that? Oh, lovely. Oof. Then what I'm going to do now is to put it in the mold. If you're using the like plastic mold or a box or something, you'd have to line it. So, but I'm not using that. I'm gonna use this fancy mold to do mine. So here you're gonna have to stuff it into the mold because you can't pour. So here I go. So I'm gonna fill the mold with it now. So you try to stuff it into the corners to make sure you have it evenly distributed into the mold. And when it's finished, what you need to do, when it's hardened a little bit, then you can use a knife to smooth it off at the top. It looks a bit funny at the minute, but it will look really well lovely when we're finished. Okay. So we just move this across here. Let us get this. Okay. Top off and just leave it to set. Okay, this one you just needed to leave it in the mold to get hard. And this can take, depending on the recipe really, you know, it will get hard. As soon as it's hard, it's ready to use. Having left our soap to set, this is what it looks like now. Probably after 24 hours. So what we're going to do, we're going to remove them from the mold and show you what they look like. 2, 3. So easy with these silicone molds, they just pop. As you can see, this is a cold process one I made before, and as you can see in terms of the texture, oh, this is really smooth. Whilst these ones, you can see how they look. Can you see that? They look dimpled, and somebody has its own charm, sort of marble. I'm going to cut one of them just to show you what I'm talking about. See? And this one, look, actually, do it like that, but on the outside, can you see the difference with that? After that, and that's it for our processed bar soap. So what we'll be doing next, we'll be looking at a hand milling soap, hand milled soap, or rebatching our soaps. Okay, so we'll do that in the next tutorial.